Hi everyone, my name's Katie, and today we are going to be talking about initiatives versus referendums, specifically in reference to the Arizona Constitution. So, number one, definitions. An initiative is the method by which voters may propose new laws or amend or change existing laws by gathering signatures from registered voters to place an issue on the ballot, therefore bypassing government and kind of making a decision by themselves and being able to put that on the ballot for the whole state to decide on. A referendum is a method by which voters may veto a law, and veto means to not agree with it, to not get it passed, etc., or part of a law by gathering signatures from registered voters to place the issue on the ballot. So essentially, someone comes up with an idea. Let's say, hey, I want to make it legal for everyone to be able to get free ice cream once a month. And so an initiative would be, they would go around, they would have to get signatures. And in order for them, and the process by which that's done is they start by creating a committee and through the Arizona Secretary of State system, and then they have to basically do a bunch of paperwork in order for it to be official. So you have to file an application and acquire the actual petition and making sure the petition itself is legit, and then go from there. So as soon as you get the petition, as soon as it's a legit petition, then you go around. Now, you also have to make sure that you file this, it's 90 days. For an initiative, it's 90 days after legislation closes, or for the year, right? So Congress is shut down, well, not shut down, but is out of session. And then they go from there. And then once it's out of session for 90 days, then you can go gather the information. A referendum, on the other hand, so again, you have to create a committee, and then you have to, from there, you have to go and talk to actual registered voters and get the petitions as well. Now, again, the main difference between the two, they kind of do the same. The way that you get it on the ballot is fairly similar, but what you're actually doing on the ballot is different, right? So on one of the ballots, you're proposing a new law. That would be the initiative. Let's say there is a law in place that gets you ice cream only once a year, and you want to change it to getting it once a month. That is what, maybe you want to veto a bill that's in office that's, you don't want it once a year, you want it once a month. So that's kind of the difference there. Basically, a referendum is vetoing something and an initiative is creating something, if that makes sense. So that's kind of comparing and contrasting those two. A referendum, you also have to have at least 127,975 signatures for the state of Arizona. There are 24 other states that do the initiative and referendum process. So that's kind of comparing and contrasting the difference between initiative and a referendum, and pros and cons. So a pro of creating a new ballot is creating a new law and trying to create a new law is you having the ability to literally create any law, right? But the con of that is you have to get probably, 127,000 signatures again, so close to 130,000 signatures, that many people that are also registered to vote and that agree with you, right? So it's a pretty big process to be able to get people together and agree with you on this law. So that's kind of a pro and converse for an initiative. For a referendum, a pro is that you don't have to go about writing or creating the bill. You just have to kind of look at the laws and say, hey, I don't like this one. I would like to get rid of it. And if there's a bill that was proposed and you were like, hey, as a voter, I want to get rid of this. So then you go around and you say, hey, we don't agree with this law that's about to be passed. Let's put it on the ballot and see what the people think about it. So instead of just going through Congress, you are going to the people and you're saying, hey, do we agree with this? Do we not? And that's kind of the difference there. And in the Arizona Constitution, I mean, the initiatives and referendums, they support the idea of direct democracy simply by allowing people to make these changes, right? So by kind of utilizing that Declaration of Rights, the citizens have the right to create a committee, gather signatures, and eventually put something on the ballot that will hopefully make a change. That is direct democracy. That is the people choosing what they want to do. And I think that's really important, because if we don't have that, then we have a dictatorship and everybody's deciding what they want to do, right? So I do appreciate the initiatives and referendums procedure. Now, I'm sure there are plenty of people, maybe more of a con of both initiatives and referendums, that, there's plenty of people that probably don't necessarily agree with, something that somebody proposes. So it could kind of create a little bit of heat, a little bit of tension, because politics has a tendency to do that. So I think that ultimately what's important is the fact that we are able to, in Arizona, I live in Minnesota, but in Arizona, they have the ability to go out and create and or veto those laws. And that is really important and is a direct show of what democracy is, as outlined in the Arizona Constitution. I hope you all have enjoyed listening to me talk about the Arizona Constitution. I have a good day.